Turtles because we're talking about what technology allows. We had the Jim Henson animatronic suits, we had the CGI Turtles, and now we have kind of a almost a combo of the two. Yeah, and I'm sure it'll evolve from there too. So it's almost a matter of preference, and it's hard to get like, well, this is legitimately what they are, because I've always said with Transformers the movie from 1986, that is the Transformers movie.
Yes,
you
the
can't
cartoon.
ever deter from that. But others would say, no, the Michael Bay ones, those are the true Transformers movies.
Animated film.
Animated
film. I do want to say, back to just real quick with the Transformers, though, what they did with the Transformium, though, the effects was pretty cool.
See,
I like that.
I mentioned that before you were on the show. I have to say that Transformium, although a horrible name, was a very cool idea.
It was a very cool idea.
Very cool. See, I'm telling you. Thank you, Collector
One
J. I
redeeming
appreciate
quality
that.
out of 2 hours of not redeeming.
3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Titanium.
That's right.
Bad Scriptium.
Come on, guys. I thought it was better than expected.
You talked about the Turtles overperforming.
Sure.
And a lot of people don't bring up the fact that with 3D movies, it's now $30 a ticket to go see the movies. So they're always inflated.
True.
The amount of money they're making a day is based upon the fact that ticket prices are just ridiculous.
Exactly.
And I have to say this, we had mentioned that on the show recently. We had mentioned that there's a difference between watching something on the big screen versus the small screen. Your expectations aren't as huge when you watch it on a smaller screen, like on a television. So
mine. I put some time, effort, and sweat into what I set up in my house. So Blu-ray movie on my TV.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
I'm
I'm a tech geek when it comes to my setup at home.
Screaming kids.
Yeah, right.
Throwing popcorn at
right, exactly.
That's real 3D right there.
Yes.
We will see this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. We'll do that this week sometime.
We'll also talk about the Turtle films. We should do a retrospective.
We should do a retrospective on that next time when we finally see the new one. We'll compare the two. We'll compare the 4 movies.
Yeah.
We'll watch Expendables 3 this weekend, hopefully as well. By the way, moving on to something else really quick. You did watch one film this weekend. You saw Step Up All In.
Step Up All In.
What is your review on Step Up All In?
Nothing has really changed in terms of story, character. What's that? But when it comes to the dancing scenes, they're spectacular. The film is really well done. The 3D was great. There's a number of scenes where they really utilize the 3D technology, but really it's been consistent with the last couple Step Up movies. When it comes to the dance sequences, they're spectacular. Some of the best I've seen in a while. When it comes to story and character and originality and freshness, it's not there.
So they weren't all in, is what you're saying?
Half Step Up half-ass doesn't really have the
Step Up half in?
Half in?
Yeah, Step Up.
Step Up. Well, we're not quite at Step Up barely trying, but they might get that to that point at this point.
So you would say that you would recommend it for the dancing only?
It's one of those films. It's because the dance sequences are really, really wonderful.
So no Oscar nods this season then?
I don't think so, no.
As opposed to the last 3.
You know what's awful is I can't even think of a name of any of the actors in this movie. Well, that's not true. Brianna Evigan, who was in the second Step Up movie,
yes, she was
in this one, and she was delightful then. She was delightful in this film. She's one of the best things about this film. But unless you're a die-hard Step-Upper like our good friend DJ Blast is. He and his family, they're the ones, man. They're the ones.
You did a marathon with them.
I did.
Not?
Well, Bud, as we know, but he goes by DJ Blast. He was insistent that I've been overlooking these films. That there is so rich cinematic value in the Step Up movies. So I said, you know what? I appreciate his enthusiasm. I do.
You do.
And he's talking about Step Up like the way I talk about Bertolucci and Terrence Malick. So clearly there's got to be something there. So went to his house and his big giant screen with his 3D glasses. We watched Step Up because I'd seen the first 2. We watched Step Up 3 and Step Up 4. And we were ready for
Revolution.
Step Up Revolution. So we were ready for Step Up All In.
Wow.
And I got to say, in one sense, he's absolutely right. These films are innocent and sweet, and they're not mean-spirited. There's no violence in them.
They're breaking for a new generation?
Sure.
Okay, good.
Sure, why not? And good-natured, and they're not mopey or angsty, but they're just genuinely earnest, and they really want to entertain, and you do have a lot of really talented people in them expressing their talent. But if you're looking for a story, I mean, there's nothing in these movies that Fame or Flashdance or Dirty Dancing didn't already do decades earlier.
Collector J, you have any knowledge of Step Up? Any Step Up movies?
I saw one, and
one is
my
the
daughter.
One is the worst
teenage
one.
Daughter.
That's a Channing Tatum.
I didn't see number one. I saw one of them. I'm not sure.
Oh,
which
you
one
just.
it was.
Well, that just goes to tell me right there. You just.
I think for your friend that was very animate, I don't think you should send him a Christmas card. But it's I will agree. There's no if my teenage daughter was going to watch a movie, or even my, the non-violence, the go out and accomplish something that message that it's supposed to send. Sure. But as far as movies, I have better things I can do for 2 hours, an hour and a half, 3 hours, 30 minutes even.
Listen,
I could be sleeping.
It's a dance movie, for crying out loud.
Well, I can't dance, so I'm not going to appreciate it.
Okay. I love the third one. I thought the third one was great. I thought the 2 was pretty decent, and then I'm still trying to get through Revolution, so I'm trying to make my way through the Step Up universe. I have to say that I had a lot of fun with 3. So. And I've seen it in 3D, and it looks fantastic. So I have to say that I give it a pass, because movies like that don't exist anymore. So it's nice that there's a little niche in the market for a movie like the Step Up films.
Definitely.
Well, boys and girls, we've come to the end of another podcast this week. We ran a couple extra minutes over, but I just want to say thanks everybody for listening. We do certainly appreciate it. You guys can reach us at our Twitter at NerdWatch Nation. By the way, Collector Jay will be joining us hopefully on a more consistent basis, which we would like to talk to him about. Not only we learned off the air that he is. He's an avid collector. Obviously, that's why we call him Collector Jay. I'd like to get his thoughts on the Lego Movie. Sometime. That's a movie that I watched, and I'm actually one of the guys that are in. I'm one of the minority that I didn't think it was that good.
You and me, buddy. I didn't like it either. So I was willing to discuss this,
and we'll discuss that.
Sure.
We will definitely. Real quick, what?
As a movie, it wasn't the best, but again, I grew up, with what everything it tied into.
Right.
It was I didn't realize that everything was going to be in Lego. The water moving, everything. So that was a little funny for me.
Sure.
Seeing that type of movement.
Right.
It was fun because of what it was.
Right.
But as an overall experience in the top 30, no.
Okay.
Not the best
so you're
movie out there.
And this is a Lego man. All right.
Serious.
He's not a Lego guy. He's not a Lego boy. He's a Lego man. So he knows what he's talking about. So we'll get his perspective more. I want to talk about that, considering the fact that there's everybody seems to jump on board the bandwagon for the Lego Movie, and I didn't get it.
It's critically acclaimed. I have no idea why.
I don't either.
It's the smartest comedy of the year.
No, not even close.
Commercial at best.
At best. And I think the message at the end was horrible. I'm not spoiling anything when I say that. When you put out the message that everybody is special, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? No one is special. So, yeah.
That's the message we want to end our show.
Our show, that's right.
No one is special.
No one is special. Well, ladies and gentlemen, next week when we do our show, we'll hopefully have a review of Expendables 3, the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. We'll talk more about other new releases coming up next week, Tuesday as well. Anything that you have coming up that you'd like to talk about, or not talk about, but to kind of promote before we take off?
Sure. This weekend at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center, one of the great musicals. It's actually a really, really awesome piece of theater called Miss Saigon. It's opening up at the MAC, the Maui Arts and Cultural Center. Miss Saigon is basically Vietnam, the musical. It's a tough show. It's a violent show. It's a sexy show. It's an amazing musical. So if you've never seen a musical, or you really don't get out much and don't really, have no desire to even see musical, this is the one you want to see. It's an amazing stage show. They're putting on a great show at the MAC. It's playing for the next 2 weekends. It'll be until the end of August. So check it out, Miss Saigon at the MAC. And
I'm assuming that you're going to be putting a review up on Maui Watch.
I will.
Of the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You already have an article up on MauiWatch.com right now about
why Miss Saigon's an important show.
Right. That is something that I have yet to see at all. I've never seen Miss Saigon ever. So, and just because of your glowing reviews of the production, I would definitely like to see it. Cool. Miss Saigon is here for a limited time. As a matter of fact, is it like on a run of like 2 weeks, a month?
It's 2 weeks. Is it
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Well, it's on a 2-week run. So they got. Are these all local actors as well?
Local actors.
Yeah. By the way, just in case you didn't know, since you've been listening, we are in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We are in the island of Maui, and that's why it's interesting. So we got all locals that'll be playing these roles.
Yeah.
Very cool. So this isn't like an off-Broadway production or anything. This is actually put together by us.
It's put together by us, but they got some serious talent to do it. This same production group did a Les Mis production last year that blew everybody's minds. I mean, it was the scale of it was so much bigger than you'd expect from a Maui stage, and apparently they're going to do the same thing this year with Miss Saigon.
Oh, fantastic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of stuff. Ladies and nerds, we got a lot of stuff coming up next week as well. Collector James, thank you so much for joining us today. We certainly appreciate it. We can't wait to have you more, to have your opinion on the show. That's what we like having here on the show. We love it. You guys can follow us at our Twitter, at NerdWatch Nation. Follow us at MauiWatch.com as well. MauiWatch.com, the app is out, by the way. The application for the Google Play Store and on iTunes. You can download the Maui Watch app, which you can get our podcasts on as well. I'm working on getting it on iTunes too, so I'm trying to get that going as well. So for those of you with iPhones, it's a much easier prospect to get the podcast itself, so we kind of grow our audience. Tell people about it. Let people know that we're out here. We're a unique voice in the islands. We're trying to gather all of the geeks and the nerds together and create kind of a buzz and a culture in the islands about what it means to us and how it affects us here, when we're 6,000 miles away from the mainland. So that's something that I'd like everyone to share out there. Please share the show and share your thoughts. You can email us at nerdwatchnation@mauiwatch.com. You can also like Maui Watch on Facebook as well. They are affiliated with us, or we are affiliated with them is what I should say. Over 32,000 likes now and growing. Nice. Maui Watch does a unique service, which not a lot of people do, and now we're just plugging into different sections of Maui Watch. So check them out as well. Maui Watch Facebook page is where everything happens. MauiWatch.com, and of course our show, the NerdWatch Nation, and we've got more entertainment coming up as well in the podcast verse, or the pod verse, as it were. So. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, have a wonderful week. We'll talk more about other exciting things that are on the way. So until that time, we're out of here. Have a lovely, lovely week. And aloha!